The world held its breath as Mike Tyson was rushed to the hospital after his highly anticipated fight with Jake Paul. What was supposed to be a legendary matchup between boxing's greatest and a YouTube sensation took a dramatic and unexpected turn. This fight was a disaster. Tyson in the hospital.
Are you kidding me?
What was going on in that ring? Joe Rogan, a voice for combat sports enthusiasts, didn't hold back in his reaction to Tyson's condition in the aftermath of the fight. But the biggest question remains, what really happened in that ring? Was this a clash of skill, or was there something more sinister behind the scenes? Fans around the globe are divided. Some say it was a genuine battle. Others think it was all a well-crafted spectacle for views and pay-per-views. Was Mike Tyson's health at risk even before stepping into the ring? Was Jake Paul's victory legitimate or part of a bigger plan? The highly anticipated fight between boxing legend Mike Tyson and internet sensation Jake Paul was billed as a clash of generations, a test of grit versus ambition. But what unfolded shocked everyone. Tyson throwing heavy punches, his movements showing glimpses of his former glory. At 58 years old, Tyson stepped into the ring carrying the weight of a storied career. Known as the baddest man on the planet, he had a lot to prove against the 27-year-old Jake Paul, who came in with youth, endurance, and a controversial reputation as a showman in the boxing world. From the first bell, Tyson's strategy was clear. Go in hard and fast, and for a few rounds it worked. His punches landed with power, reminding fans why he was once feared in the heavyweight division. But Jake Paul wasn't just standing around. His strategy was calculated. Let Tyson tire himself out, pick openings, and avoid risky exchanges. Paul is playing the long game, letting Tyson burn his energy. With every passing round, the age gap became more apparent. Tyson's footwork slowed, and his punches started to lose their sting. Jake, on the other hand, began to look more confident, landing precise shots while conserving his energy. The turning point came in the 6th round. Tyson, visibly exhausted, began to struggle physically. His famous stamina from his prime was no match for time. Jake Paul, though hesitant to go all in, managed to land enough clean shots to secure the upper hand. Fans watched with mixed emotions, cheering for the underdog but worrying for the aging legend. The fight ended with Jake Paul declared the winner by decision.
The winner by unanimous decision, Jake Paul!
But the celebrations were short-lived. Tyson, moments after the final bell, appeared to struggle physically. What started as a hard-fought match quickly turned into a medical emergency. Tyson reported feeling dizzy and nauseous. Ringside medics were called in, and within minutes he was rushed to the hospital for further evaluation. This wasn't the first time Tyson's health had raised questions. Leading up to the fight, many wondered if stepping back into the ring was a risk too great for a man his age. Having undergone multiple surgeries over the years and battling the physical effects of his intense career, Tyson was no stranger to the challenges of aging in a high-impact sport. Yet despite the warnings, Tyson's love for the sport and his fighting spirit pushed him to take on a challenge that many believed was beyond his years. The boxing world erupted in debates. Was this fight a celebration of Tyson's legacy, or was it a spectacle that risked his health for entertainment? Many fans took to social media to voice their concerns, while others applauded the legend for stepping into the ring once again. The fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson was meant to be a showcase of the old guard versus the new. But it ended with a sobering reminder of the risks involved in boxing, especially for legends past their prime. As news of Mike Tyson's hospitalization spread, one voice stood out in the storm of reactions. Joe Rogan, the UFC commentator, podcaster, and fight analyst, didn't hold back, expressing his outrage over what he saw as a deeply unethical spectacle. Joe Rogan's podcast became the hub of heated discussions after the fight. Known for his unfiltered opinions, Rogan was quick to call out the organizers and athletic commissions responsible for approving the fight. This fight never should have happened. Who thought it was a good idea to let a 58-year-old Mike Tyson go toe-to-toe with someone half his age? It's dangerous, and honestly, it's disgusting. Rogan questioned the judgment of the athletic commissions, suggesting that they prioritized profit and spectacle over fighter safety. Rogan didn't stop at criticizing the organizers. He delved into the risks Tyson faced, pointing out that the signs were clear long before the fight. We're talking about a guy who's been through surgeries, who's had a long career in one of the most brutal sports on the planet. At 58, even the best-conditioned athlete is at serious risk when they step into the ring. This wasn't a fair fight, it was exploitation. According to Rogan, Tyson's legendary status made him a target for what he called dangerous nostalgia. The fight wasn't about competition, it was about cashing in on Tyson's name. This fight reignited an ongoing ethical debate in combat sports. Rogan pointed out that while exhibition matches can be entertaining, they shouldn't come at the cost of a fighter's health or legacy. I get it, people love Mike Tyson. They want to see the old Iron Mike back in action. But there's a line. You can't ask a guy his age to fight someone with the energy and stamina of a 27-year-old. It's not right. Rogan argued that these events blur the line between sport and spectacle, often exploiting the legacies of older fighters for short-term gains. Beyond his critique of the fight, Rogan's reaction was deeply personal. As a longtime admirer of Tyson, seeing the legend rush to the hospital after the fight hit hard. Mike Tyson is a hero to so many people, including me. To see him put in this position, it's heartbreaking. He's done so much for the sport. He doesn't deserve this. Rogan's words resonated with fans around the world. Many echoed his concerns, calling for better protections for aging athletes and more scrutiny of such matchups. For Rogan, the fight wasn't just about Tyson's physical safety, it was about his legacy. He argued that matches like this risk tarnishing the reputation of a fighter who had already given everything to the sport. Mike Tyson is one of the greatest fighters of all time. His legacy is untouchable, but fights like these don't honor that. They diminish it. He's earned the right to retire as a legend, not be dragged into spectacles like this. As Tyson recovers, the fight's aftermath continues to spark debates. For Rogan, it's a wake-up call for the combat sports community, a reminder that legends like Mike Tyson deserve respect, not exploitation. Let's learn from this. Let's protect the legends who gave us so much to admire. Tyson's health and legacy are more important than any pay-per-view event. The fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul sparked intense reactions, but one question continues to dominate the conversation. Was it scripted? Fans, critics, and even Joe Rogan have weighed in on the possibility of the fight being staged. Let's break it down. The internet exploded with speculation after the fight, with many fans claiming that what they saw in the ring didn't feel genuine. Theories about a staged match quickly gained traction. One of the biggest red flags, according to fans, was the glaring mismatch between the two fighters. At 58 years old, Tyson was stepping into the ring against a 27-year-old Jake Paul, a social media star turned professional boxer. How is this even fair? Jake Paul is in his prime, and Tyson hasn't fought professionally in years. It doesn't add up. Tyson's performance also raised eyebrows. Known for his ferocious power and speed, the former heavyweight champion appeared to hold back throughout the fight. Some fans pointed out moments where he seemed to miss punches he would have easily landed in his prime. Tyson didn't look like himself in there. It's almost as if he wasn't allowed to fight at full capacity, evidence of Jake Paul pulling punches. Then there's Jake Paul. Critics argue that Paul, known for his aggressive style, didn't press the advantage as much as he could have. Replays show moments where he appeared to hesitate or pull punches that could have potentially ended the fight. There were times when Jake could have gone for the knockout, and he didn't. That's not normal for a fighter with something to prove. Fans also pointed to the fight's financial incentives. With millions on the line, some believe the fight was designed to be a spectacle rather than a genuine competition. The theory? A scripted match ensures drama, ticket sales, and no lasting damage to either fighter's reputation. This fight felt more like a WWE match than a real boxing match. It's all about the money. Joe Rogan didn't shy away from addressing the speculation. While he stopped short of outright accusing the fight of being scripted, he acknowledged the glaring inconsistencies that fueled the rumors. Look, I'm not saying it was fixed, but there were some weird moments. Jake pulling punches? Tyson not going full throttle? It raises questions, and those questions aren't good for boxing. Rogan explained that accusations of rigged matches are nothing new in boxing. However, he emphasized that such claims damage the sport's credibility, especially when it involves high-profile figures like Tyson and Paul. For Rogan, the real issue isn't whether the fight was scripted, it's the perception of it. Even the hint of a staged match tarnishes the sport's reputation, making fans question the authenticity of future bouts. Boxing has a rich history, but fights like this risk turning it into a circus. If fans start thinking every match is fake, what's left? So was the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul scripted? While there's no definitive proof, the speculation highlights deeper issues within the sport. Issues that Joe Rogan and others believe need to be addressed. Whether it was real or not, this fight has opened up a bigger conversation. We need to protect the integrity of boxing and ensure that every match honors the fighters and the fans. The fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul didn't just spark debates about scripting, it raised serious questions about the future of boxing. Joe Rogan has been vocal about these concerns, and he's not alone. Let's dive into the broader issues this fight brings to light. Boxing has always been a brutal sport, but when aging legends like Mike Tyson step into the ring, the risks are multiplied. This fight has reignited discussions about how far is too far for older athletes. At 58, Tyson was decades past his prime. While his determination and iconic status remain unmatched, the fight with Jake Paul highlighted the physical toll that time has taken. As athletes age, their reflexes slow, recovery times increase, and the risk of serious injury skyrockets. For someone like Tyson, who has already endured years of physical punishment, stepping into the ring at this age is incredibly dangerous. Tyson himself has been open about his health challenges, including surgeries and the long-term effects of his career. Experts believe these factors could have contributed to his post-fight health scare. The human body isn't meant to withstand the kind of punishment boxers endure for decades. For someone like Tyson, the risks of stepping back into the ring far outweigh the rewards. When younger fighters like Jake Paul take on aging legends, it raises ethical questions. Fans want excitement, but at what cost? These matchups risk turning boxing into a spectacle rather than a respected sport. Watching someone like Tyson take unnecessary damage is heartbreaking. This fight wasn't just risky, it was exploitative. One of the most contentious issues is the role of promoters and athletic commissions in allowing fights like this to happen. Joe Rogan has been particularly critical of these institutions, accusing them of prioritizing financial gain over fighter safety. There's no denying that fights involving big names like Tyson and Paul generate massive revenue. But at what cost? Critics argue that promoters are more interested in cashing in on these spectacles than protecting the fighters. This fight was about money, plain and simple. They knew Tyson's name would sell, but they didn't care about what it might do to him physically. Athletic commissions, which are supposed to ensure fighter safety, also face criticism. How did they approve a fight between a 58-year-old retired legend and a much younger active competitor? The commissions are supposed to protect fighters, but in this case, they failed. This fight never should have been sanctioned. Historical context. This isn't the first time athletic commissions have been criticized. Fights involving older legends are becoming more common, and each one chips away at the sport's integrity. As boxing continues to blend legitimate competition with entertainment-focused matchups, its future hangs in the balance. Joe Rogan and others worry that the sport's credibility is at stake. Boxing has such a rich history, but these kinds of fights risk turning it into a sideshow. We need to focus on real competitive matchups, not spectacles designed to sell tickets. For boxing to thrive, its leaders must prioritize integrity over profit. That means protecting aging fighters from unnecessary risks and focusing on developing the next generation of champions. We need to stop exploiting these legends and start investing in the future of the sport. Otherwise, boxing will lose its soul. The fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul was more than just a spectacle. It was a wake-up call. As fans, critics, and fighters themselves debate its implications, one thing is clear: the choices made now will shape boxing's future for generations to come. Mike Tyson's legacy is one of resilience, triumph, and unmatched greatness. But after his fight with Jake Paul, the legendary boxer reminded the world of his humanity. Shortly after being released from the hospital, Tyson shared an emotional message on social media. He thanked his fans for their unwavering support and reflected on his journey. "I've been through a lot in my life, but being able to step into the ring one more time at my age was a gift. To my fans, thank you for standing by me. To my family, thank you for your love and strength." These words struck a chord with millions. Tyson's gratitude and humility were clear, but so was the physical toll the fight had taken on him. Tyson's resilience is nothing short of inspiring. To come back after decades of retirement and still command the attention of millions speaks to his enduring legacy. But for many, the fight overshadowed his strength with concerns about his health. We love Tyson for his bravery, but seeing him like this, it's hard to watch. We want him to enjoy his life, not risk it. Even Tyson himself acknowledged the risks, stating that he knew this might be his last time in the ring. For fans, it was a bittersweet reminder of his mortality. Joe Rogan has been one of Tyson's most vocal supporters. He's often praised Tyson as one of the greatest fighters of all time. But after this fight, Rogan had a powerful message about the need to protect boxing legends. Mike Tyson is a goddamn legend. He gave the sport everything he had, and now the sport owes it to him to give back. These fights, these exhibitions, they're not worth it when you're risking his health. For Rogan, Tyson's legacy isn't just about the fights he's won, it's about the inspiration he's provided to millions around the world. He believes Tyson's story is one of redemption, strength, and overcoming the odds. Both Tyson and Rogan agree that boxing needs to do better by its legends. Tyson's willingness to step into the ring shows his love for the sport, but it also highlights the responsibility boxing has to its fighters. We can celebrate Tyson's legacy without putting him in harm's way. It's time for the sport to change. Time for promoters and commissions to value these athletes as people, not just as ticket sales. In his final words after the fight, Tyson had a simple message for his fans. Cherish every moment. I've been blessed to do what I love, and I hope my journey shows you that it's never too late to chase your dreams. Thank you for everything. Tyson's words serve as a reminder of why he's so beloved, not just for his power in the ring, but for his humility and heart outside of it. As the world reflects on Mike Tyson's incredible legacy, one thing is clear: his impact on boxing and on the lives of his fans will never be forgotten. Now it's up to the sport he loves to honor him by protecting its fighters and its future. So after all that drama, emotion, and speculation, we want to hear from you. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And here's something else to think about. Do you believe this fight was entirely real? Or do you agree with the growing number of fans and commentators who think it was scripted? Some point to Jake Paul pulling punches, while others question whether the fight's outcome was predetermined. What's your take? Let us know. We're reading every comment. This fight has sparked one of the biggest debates in boxing today. On one hand, you have fans applauding Tyson's bravery and Jake Paul's respect. On the other, you have critics like Joe Rogan raising serious questions about the ethics behind this fight. If this fight was scripted, it's a disgrace to boxing. If it wasn't, then someone needs to rethink how these matchups are being approved. It's not just about Tyson and Paul, it's about the future of boxing as a sport. Your voice matters in shaping that future. Tease future content. And this is just the beginning. In the coming weeks, we'll be diving deeper into the most shocking stories from the world of combat sports. What's next for Mike Tyson? How will Jake Paul respond to the backlash? And will boxing's governing bodies finally step up? Stay tuned to find out. Encourage interaction and subscriptions. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most talked about fights in recent memory, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update. From explosive fight breakdowns to exclusive behind-the-scenes stories, we've got you covered. And lastly, a huge thank you to everyone who's been part of this journey. From die-hard Tyson fans to Jake Paul supporters, your passion for boxing is what keeps this sport alive. The story of Mike Tyson and Jake Paul may be far from over. The only question is, what's next? Stick around, because you won't want to miss what's coming.